Hi there, folks. My name is Mark Westphal. I work in marketing at Schmalz, and thank you very much for joining our presentation. And sorry about it being the day after Memorial Day. That was my fault. I did not know that Memorial Day was Monday until after we planned. So I hope that you enjoy. This is Neil Rudy. Neil does handling system sales in the Northeast territory. He's fairly new to the sales team. He's been with Schmalz, though, for quite a few years working in service. So he's going to do a quick presentation on our VacuMaster line. If you have questions during the session, if you'll use the hand icon and just notify me that you have a question, we'll probably hold questions until the end of the session. But if you want to do that, or if you want to put in a chat, you can put it in a chat session, and I will try to inject that question if it's something urgent that we want to get in there, or if it's something relevant to what Neil's talking about at the time. As well as I'll be providing you some handouts after the session. We'll be sending out an email. It'll probably go out tomorrow morning, and it'll have the questionnaire that Neil's going to go over here in a second, as well as some literature about our products in the VacuMaster line. With all that, here's Neil.
Hi, everybody. My name is Neil Rudy. I'm the Northeast Regional Sales Manager for Schmalz. I spent the last 3 to 4 years as the Service Manager, Installation Manager at Schmalz also. I've just recently started taking over the sales territory. Today, we're going to be discussing the VacuMaster line from Schmalz. It's a solo lift to 4,000 pounds. Oops, don't get my cursor right. The VacuMaster is a generic term covering all of our lifts suspended under a hook, typically a chain hoist, several different standard options available for handling glass, metal, woods, drums, coils, boards, and plastics. It eliminates the needs for multiple people to lift a workpiece. This is a single person unit. Workpieces can be handled in options of horizontal to vertical, 90-degree tilt, 180-degree flip, 360-degree rotate. As Mark mentioned prior to, this is the questionnaire that we require you guys to fill out for us because we are an ISO 9001 company and we have to have logs of everything we do. Go through this. It's the description of the workpiece. Basically, what are you lifting? What's the material of the workpiece? The dimensions, and the maximum weight that you want the system to go on. The airtight or porous. Is it rough, textured surface, wet, dry, oily? Pictures are awesome if you can add them to this, maybe a detailed drawing, and you would pick your horizontal or vertical lift, possibly tilt or flip or rotate. When you're putting this in the crane, you have to specify the weight of the unit with your crane also. Applications of this: loading and unloading CNC machines, water jet laser machines, electrical panels and control boxes, structural beams and tubing, car parts, hoods, doors, panels, insulated panels for manufactured homes, RVs, trucks and buses, sliding doors, inspecting glass panels, solar panels, barrels, drums, coils, batteries. The Schmalz questionnaire in the previous slide, as I stated, is a simple way for us to determine which system best fits your application. Here's a photo of our ready to bolt on Trump True Laser. We offer this for 2 different model types, the 1030, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one that we offer for, but it's a direct bolt on system. It powers right into where the gentleman is wiring the power into the system already. It's a direct bolt on for those machines. There's 3 primary versions: horizontal 4,400 pounds, 90-degree tilt, 1,100 pounds, 180-degree flip is 1,100 pounds also. Our modular design helps components the system very adaptable to multiple work pieces. Handle length with an option for a pivot for a high stacking application. Variable length main beam made with lightweight aluminum and cross beams. Multiple pump options depending on the application. Multiple cup options for different work pieces. As I said, dusty, rigid, uneven surfaces aren't a problem. Different cup mounting options to maybe reach down inside a crate of some sort. The cups can be extended down. Easy tool-free adjusting. As you see in the middle photo at the bottom, right there, it's just a simple hand turn and you can slide your beam and your cups in whatever orientation you need. Two basic configurations. One is the Schmalz Basic. It can be utilized with the Schmalz hoist or a third-party chain hoist due to the independent pendant control, as photoed right here. It uses a manual slide valve to grip and release the products, separate hoist pendant control up and down. The pump is always on the basic unit, and it can be used in wet applications with water separation as an option. The Comfort is the higher end model. It has all the controls integrated into the handle. It can only be used with a Schmalz hoist due to the fact that the hoist controls are integrated into the handle already, and to try to figure that out with a different hoist is a nightmare. The integrated push button controls on the hoist for up and down on the left, tilt 90 and 180 are on the right, solenoid valve with two-handed push buttons for the product release. Regulated vacuum pump shuts off when the safe vacuum level is reached. It conserves the energy. It's a cleaner, more aesthetic looking unit. Here's the photo of the unit, the handle itself. As I stated, the top right is the vacuum on. The chain hoist up and down is on the left-hand control. It is a double detent switch on the chain hoist up and down because of the 2-speed chain hoist. The swivel vertical and horizontal device are on the right-hand side, and the bottom red on the right-hand side is the vacuum release. You must push the red and green at the same time to release the vacuum, so you don't accidentally hit a button to drop the product when it's in lift mode. The emergency stop button in the middle of the handle only stops moving components. It does not stop the vacuum. Vacuum on is safe, so it only stops the linear actuators and the chain hoist operation. Safety features for the VacuMaster: the visual gauge with red and green zones. It indicates the safe vacuum level, audible alarm that shuts off when proper vacuum level is reached, and sound if vacuum pressure drops suddenly in the event of power failure. The non-return valve traps vacuum in the reservoir in case of a power failure. Slide valve with push button lock to prevent accidental releases on the Basic, and the two-handed push button releases on the Comfort. Emergency stop button integrated into the handle on the Comfort only. All systems are tested in-house to ensure an airtight connection before shipping, and all of our cups have a safety factor of 2 to 1. Accessories for the VacuMaster: suction cup shutoff valves. It allows, if you have a 16-cup system or an 8-cup system and you want to pick up a smaller piece of material, you would actually shut off the cups that are not being covered by the workpiece, and the unit will still function properly. Work stands, if you need to store this out of the way, it actually sits on the parking stands to protect the cups and everything like that from getting deteriorated or sitting on flat on a surface. They also rotate up 180 degrees to swivel out of the way when you're using the product. Schmalz chain hoist: the plug and play electrical connections. Coiled cable on the VacuMaster module gets the voltage from the plug connector on the hoist. You only have to run power into the hoist and then plug the connectors into the hoist, and it has power to the unit from there. Hoist controls are integrated in the VacuMaster Comfort control handle and remove hoist push button pendant control. The robust pressure cast aluminum housing makes it very rigid and durable. Loads up to 2,000 kg. The standard geared limit switches set here before shipping due to the fact that you don't want to lift the unit too high and damage the chain hoist.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
You've got a question here. It's where is the reservoir? In the main beam or a separate container?
If you go back up to slide, oops, I'm sorry. Right here on the top photo, the inside here, this H shape is the reservoir. This tube right here at the top is the distributor. That actually goes out to the cup So this is the reservoir and this is the distributor. Okay. Is there any other questions right there?
Nope. Is that good for you there, Dwayne? I think he's good.
Okay, perfect. Duty cycle of the chain hoist depends on the load range, is 30 to 60%. The 2-speed hoist, 4.8 meters per minute, 1.2 meters per minute. Like I mentioned before in the previous slide, that the double detent button has 2 different settings for the full speed. Variable chain length is available depending on the height of your crane system or the lowness of what you want to pick up. It's a CSA certified chain hoist as well. The benefits to the Schmalz: electronic warning device, audible alarm alerts to low pressure or power failure, clear visible integrated gauges, large vacuum reservoir. Like I said, this channel right here travels the entire length of the beam. That is your complete reservoir. The quick gripping of the work pieces. As soon as you activate the push buttons on the comfort or slide handle on the basic, your work piece is gripped instantaneously. Safety in case of a power failure, the non-return valve closes if power is locked. Unique manual slide valve with non-jamming lock. This silver button right there actually needs to be depressed to slide the handle. If it's not depressed, the handle won't move. If you depress it and start to slide the handle, it will always return to vacuum on, which is a safe mode, due to you don't want to drop the workpiece. It protects against the incorrect activation, requires deliberate W action, prevent accidental release of load. The lightweight aluminum main beam keeps our weight down as much as we can. This is your visual gauge right there on the VacuMaster. You can see in this photo here, you see the green, and then once it gets up into the red, it will stop. That'll be your low safety lifting. Some more benefits to the Schmalz. It's variable modular system, large variety of suction cups, vacuum reservoir, electronic warning devices with gauge, accidental drop prevention, and a very ergonomic handle. The comfort specifics are controls integrated into the operating handle, vacuum generator with automatic energy saving function, and all of your controls are run with a 24-volt control board, so you don't have to worry about any electrical shock or anything like that. Notes on selling: it's the only option available to handle loads over 300 kg. Slower throughput than a tube lifter, 30 to 60 parts per hour. The throughput is limited by the duty cycle of hoist or linear actuator. The linear actuator and the tilting feature on our hoists or on our VacuMaster are 12% duty cycle. They're not super efficient, but you really don't want to be lifting and flipping heavy objects really fast. That's why they're limited. The weight of the unit must be factored in when sizing a crane, as I stated before. Many of the airtight workpieces are slightly porous. It does not handle boxes, MDF, or plywood. We have special VacuMasters for handling MDF and plywood. It's usually slightly cheaper than the equivalent tube lifter. It's better for handling large, thin workpieces than a tube lifter. Special VacuMasters. We have a 360-degree rotate. Workpieces can be horizontal or vertical plane. The 90-degree tilt from horizontal to vertical. Max capacity is 500 kg. Has telescoping beams to adjust. Right in this photo right here, you can see they slide in and out with a simple thumb pin. The optional cup depth is also pictured right here. And your maximum workpieces are 10.5 foot by 8.5 foot. They have also put a pivoting handle on the VacuMaster Comfort that it's easier to use. As the photo here, you can see our one worker is kind of really up in the air. They have changed that and made that a pivoting handle now. VacuMaster window is the vertical handling only. Workpieces can be rotated to the vertical plane, manual or powered rotate available in basic or comfort versions. VacuMaster Lite is the most affordable unit for handling small pieces up to 100 kg. It only requires compressed air. Only available in the basic version, standard 1 cup or 4 cup configuration, and new modular system for large items with adjustable holders and beams. It does the same safety features on this as well. This little flag down here will light red or green. It's easier seen right here for your safe vacuum levels are reached. VacuMaster coil handles coils as slit strips for positioning onto a decoil or mandrel for thin and ultra thin sheet metal, steel, and stainless steel. The maximum strip thickness is 3 millimeters for aluminum or 1.5 millimeters for steel. Continuously swivels up to 90 degrees. Design and function is the VacuMaster, the vacuum lifting device with vacuum clamp suction rings that can be switched on or off separately. Precise electronic drive to continuous swivel of loads. The VacuMaster Multi, as I stated previous, for MDF or large heavy boards, or rough and coated MDF, OSB, and particle boards. Also for gypsum fiber and gypsum plaster board, as well as plastic sheets. 90-degree swivel of workpiece is an option on this one. This one we actually use a blower to create enough flow through the workpiece to actually do the gripping, as you see right here. It's got a centrifugal mass to delay the vacuum dissipation in the event of a power failure because it does not have a reservoir. Reversing valve to quickly release the load, and electronic drive for continuous and precise swiveling. We got any more questions here, Mark? I know I went a little.
Nope, no questions
fast.
so far. I don't see any questions. We do have a couple of your colleagues here online, Brandon, Kevin, Chris, Matt. If any of you have anything that you want to add to this, I mean, sales perspectives are different, and if there's anything you can give as far as tips, just raise your hand, guys. We'll open up your microphone. I don't see any other questions.
We do. I forgot to mention, we actually do have the capability to go to 10,000 pounds now with a VacuMaster. Any of the large lifting applications that we walked away from before, we can now address those and give the customer a solution that is needed.
Okay. Mark Snyder, you have your hand up. I've opened up your microphone.
Thank you. What is lead time after you finalize the design, and how long does it take to finalize your designs?
The design it's pretty quick for finalizing the design if we have all the information. And the shipping is usually, what are we at, like 6 to 10 weeks now? Or are we still at 4 to 8?
Francisco's on the line. Francisco, would you have anything to offer there? You're self-muted.
Hold on.
Okay. You're open now.
For the VacuMaster, the lead time?
Yeah.
For a standard unit is 6 to 8.
6 to 8. And then it's a little bit longer for custom units.
Yeah.
For the rest
That's
of
for any of the equipment?
Say that again?
That for any of the equipment that you were going over today?
No, for the more special VacuMasters, we are between 7 to 9 and 8 to 10 weeks.
For manufacturing?
For delivery, yes.
Yes.
After approval.
For delivery.
And how long for engineering?
It will depend on how custom the unit is, but if it's a standard unit, you can get an approval drawing within a week.
Okay, so maybe 3 weeks outside for engineering, 10 weeks outside for manufacture, for special.
If it's a standard unit, yeah, for a special unit, yeah, that's a good.
I've had experience significantly longer in from other resources for both.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot there, Francisco. Francisco is a applications engineer in our handling systems here at Schmalz.
Yeah, no problem.
Francisco.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ray.
Brandon Webb has something. Brandon, your speaker's open.
Okay, I just wanted to add something about the VacuMaster 180 Flip. If anyone is interested in that product, we do have some PDF attachments that are cautions when considering that device. I've sold a couple of them in my territory. They work really well, but they do require a bigger footprint, like a work area footprint. And if anyone's interested in that, there are some flyers of cautions to consider.
Thanks, Brandon.
I don't see any other questions or hands up. If you have anything, just quickly. Otherwise, like I said, I will be sending out the questionnaire as well as a brochure and recording of this YouTube. It'll be a YouTube recording that you'll be able to go back, and if there's anyone else in your team or group that you want to share it with, please feel free. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Did I cut you off there, Neil?
Nope. You're fine.
Okay, well, thank you guys. Everybody take care. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll have more webinars coming up here soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, guys.